Hello everyone, Anushka here, the head girl as you know, and I'm just here to talk to you a little bit about the transition period from year 11 to the sixth form in terms of studying. Now the first tip I have for you is to really make sure that you have chosen the subjects that you know you're going to thrive in and subjects that you're going to enjoy, subjects that you see yourself doing in the future. And so, as you know, there are 4 different routes in the sixth form, which is absolutely brilliant. We're so fortunate to have that at the Anglo. And as you know, we have the A-levels, AIB route, IBCP route, and the IB diploma. So we have a broad range of subject routes. So you have to just stick with the A-levels if you want. You can go do the IB, which is 6 subjects, absolutely brilliant. I have a lot of IB friends that are actually enjoying the course. It is of course a lot of work because there are more subjects to deal with, but as you know, in the lower school you have so many subjects anyways. I'm sure you'll get used to it very quickly, so don't feel worried about that if you are an aspiring IB student. My second tip is to ensure that you are organised, which is such a cliche thing you've probably heard a million times: stay organised, but it is important, don't get me wrong, it is. But yes, so make sure that you remain organised, and the brilliant way that sixth formers do this is to have folders. Now you will have a day folder that you need to buy yourself, and you will collect all your papers from your lessons of the day. So for example, if you have English, business and Spanish in a day, you collect all the paperwork, put them in a day folder, and when you get home you put them into separate folders. So you have a separate English, business, Spanish, whatever subjects you have. And it's a brilliant way of keeping your units and modules and subjects all separate, so when you go back to revise for your mocks or upcoming exams, it is just all there. So that is my second top tip, and a lot of students in the sixth form do that. Some people tend to stick with books and whatnot. It really depends on what you work with best. I didn't think that I'd work well with folders at first, but once I gave it a try, I realised that it is brilliant. All your notes are in separate days. I really recommend it. Can't recommend it enough. And my third top tip is to go to your study periods. Now, when you're in the sixth form, you get given DSTs, which are designated study periods. And the good thing is about those that you get to choose where they are. And it depends on what subject route, it depends how many you get, because as you know, with the IB, you're going to have more subjects, so you're going to have less time to do your designated study periods. But for me, I do the AIB route, so I get 10 designated slots. And yeah, you get to choose them yourself and really integrate them into your timetable to make sure it works for you, depending if you work better in the morning or in the afternoon. Really works well for you. You get to see whatever works for you, and make sure you get a lunch break. Yeah, I really enjoy using those personally because I like to keep myself organised and really make sure I go to them. So what you do is that you just sign in, really crack on for an hour or two, and I think that is really beneficial for the students, and it's been proven to work really well for the students if you look across the years at the grades that we've been getting at the Anglo in the sixth form, in the A-levels and IB also. So yes, those are my top 3 tips. If you have any more questions, please do not hesitate to ask me or anybody in the head team. We'll be more than happy to help you out, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ben Cousins, and I'm just going to talk through a couple of tips to help you transition from year 11 to lower sixth. The first tip regards bridging work. If you're not familiar with bridging work, it's basically the work you get set after year 11 in the summer to do before lower sixth. I strongly recommend you do this not as soon as possible. You kind of want to space this out for the whole summer holidays, but bridging work really helps you get to grips with especially the first few weeks of lower sixth. Just basically gets you used to what lessons are like, what the workload is like as well. That's really, really important, and it's important for subjects which you're not really familiar with before. So I had little to no understanding of economics before I took it for lower sixth, but bridging work kind of helped me have an understanding of what was required from a subject which I have no understanding of. My second tip is time management. I'm talking about more at-home time management. I think Anushka or someone else will talk about DSTs, which are very important, but I think someone else will touch on that. Time management is really important, obviously. You don't want to have, you don't want to have 5 assignments the day after, staying up late to do work that's desperately doing work for tomorrow. You want to, number one, do the assignments which are due earliest. You don't want to leave these to the last minute. You want to space these out. You don't want to get too bogged down with the workload. And this kind of goes hand in hand with my next tip, which is taking breaks. These two tips kind of relate to having a study schedule, which is really important, especially with when exams roll around the corner. You don't want to be doing last minute homework, all these homework assignments when you really want to be revising for mocks, let's say, which I've got mocks in a couple of weeks, so I can kind of relate to this. You want to manage your time well. You can't afford to not be productive in these DSTs and in school. If you didn't do so much in the school day, you've got to get this done at home. Anglo can't afford you to be unproductive. You've got to manage this time well, but take breaks. Don't bog yourself down with a lot of work if it's unnecessary. Just take a break every once in a while. It's good to refresh the mind, and it definitely helps me. I come home sometimes and I take a 1 hour nap, which I wouldn't recommend, but honestly that helps me a lot with kind of dealing with the workload, dealing with the stress that school brings you. So kind of those two tips combined relate to a work schedule. So I definitely advise you to have some sort of schedule going on with your work, especially when exams roll around the corner. So they're kind of like my 3 tips, just short and simple. I hope the year 11s have like a great summer. Don't get too stressed out with lower sixth, just try and enjoy yourselves, and yeah.
Hi, my name is Ruby Ann and I'm one of the 2 deputy head girls, and today I'm going to be talking to you about what is our advice to get the best out of induction days. As an external student, induction days for me were a necessity to gain some more inside information into the school, and I think one of the best ways to make yourself feel a bit more confident about the change or the jump from a new school is to have some questions, in the back of your mind, or you might even write them down. Examples could be, I'm interested in the brain, what kind of subjects can facilitate this? Or why should I take drama? Why should I take English? Which subject should I take English Lit Lang? What's the difference between that and literature? Any question is a good question, because that question could help another child, or it could help your parents, or it could help the teacher to try and guide you in the right direction. You could just ask some basic questions if you really don't know what to ask, if there's a school uniform. Is there a netball team? What can I look forward to? Are the school on any social media platforms that I can follow? How should I navigate the website? What should I go on? What kind of technology does the school use? Do we need to use our phones? Do we need to get laptops? Do we use computers, etc.? Pay attention to the things that you could potentially want to study, research them, ask your teachers from your school, or potentially, if you're already in the Anglo, ask your teachers. Come up to us in the sixth form. Feel free to always stop us, ask us what subjects we do, what we think is important, what we enjoy, what we don't enjoy, and just an overall glimpse of the experience about joining sixth form, because people always say it's a massive jump, and it is, don't get me wrong, but as long as you're happy, you will thrive. We'll all really look forward in meeting you all very soon, and I wish you all the best.
Hello, just quickly, I'm here to talk about an exciting opportunity that the school will be offering for your transition from year 11 to sixth form. This opportunity comes in the form of EtonX and MOOC courses, and these have the aim of just providing you with a couple of extra skills that you'll need for interviews and sixth form life in general, as well as university life when you get onto that. The EtonX courses currently on offer include public speaking, writing skills, communication, critical thinking, and resilience, to name a few. These are all really useful, and I think all of these skills will really help you when you make the jump to sixth form life. I myself didn't do any of these courses, but I feel like if I had, I would have been at a real advantage moving into the sixth form. The MOOC courses are of a similar fashion. They're all held online, and most of them are free to attend. So when you're bored in the summer or have a day to spare or something, you can literally just go onto one of these courses, take part, learn something new, gain those new skills that you'll want for later university and sixth form life. These courses allow you to learn at your own pace, since they're not scheduled like that, so you can attend the course whenever you're free. The courses are recognised, so the top universities will see that you've done these courses, and they can provide you with an academic boost there. They bring people together as well. You'll meet a lot of new people in these courses. The participation in them is worldwide. There are people from all over. So overall, I'd say the EtonX and MOOC courses are definitely an opportunity just there for you to make the most of. And if you do take the opportunity, I think you definitely won't regret it.
Hi, I'm Grace, and I'm going to be speaking about things that Year 11s could be doing right now to help prepare you for joining the sixth form in September. So I would say it's really important to get to know the courses which you have chosen and the subjects. One way of doing this is figuring out the exam board of that subject and then finding the specification online. The specification will show you all the key topics which you'll study and in what order, which is really useful, so you can, one, prepare either your folders or just get a bit organised, and it will just help you to just understand what you're going to be learning, so you're prepared for when you come in, like you know what to expect, which I think is really useful, so it's not a shock to the system in September. Also, when you find out the key topics, if there's something that you're interested in and you have some spare time, you could read around that topic and develop some prior knowledge and like a basic understanding, which I think would be great for your courses. And also, if you're coming to this sixth form, you'll be doing some sort of language here, whether it's A-level, IB, or just introductory. So you could watch a film in that language, which I think it's really interesting. You can have subtitles on in English, or the other way around, read it in that language, but just get to know the language, because you might as well, if you're going to be hearing it all the time, just to develop a basic understanding or get used to it. So I think those would be really useful, but if just working on preparing yourself for when you do join, so you know what to expect. Thank you.
Yeah, so the move from year 11 to sixth form can be quite difficult, and so that means you have to be very organised and ready to take over the challenges that come in the month of September when you start sixth form. It can be very challenging and daunting when you're moving from lower school to sixth form, because there's a lot of challenges, there's a lot of responsibilities asked of you, and at sixth form things get a lot more independent, and so it's important that you understand what you're getting yourself into before you actually get there. For me personally, I found that it's very, not only physically taxing, it's mentally taxing as well. So you have to make sure you stay on top of your work. But before you even get there, it's important you know what you're doing in each subject over the summer. So you use the summer whilst you're relaxing to go over videos, go over the course content, specification, because you need to see what you're getting yourself into in the month of September, because once September comes, that's when the real work starts. So I wish you luck, and good luck.